Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Cooking with Frost, we're going to be going over Asian style beef with broccoli. So this is going to be something quick we can put right into the Instapot. I know it's something you probably haven't used in a little while, but let's go ahead and pull it out and get ready to work. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I do a new healthy recipe every other week and some tech reviews, so go ahead and subscribe. But on that, let's go and get right to the video. Alright, first thing we're going to need about 1.5 pounds of skirt steak. We're going to need some beef broth. We're also going to need some arrowroot to thicken that baby up. We're going to need some avocado oil, some sesame seed oil, some coconut aminos. That's our soy sauce replacement. We're going to need 3 total. Nope, that's 2. We're going to need, yeah, there it is. 3 total pieces of broccoli, 2 cloves of garlic. From there, we need some ginger. We got a half that. That's about how much we're going to need. We're also going to need some red pepper flake to add a little bit of spice, and of course some onion powder, then salt and pepper, and that's pretty much. Oh, forgot one thing. Oh, we're gonna need some sesame seeds if you'd like to. That's totally optional. And of course, we're gonna need the only thing we need to cook with, the Instapot. But on that, let's go ahead and get right into the rest of the cooking. We definitely want to make sure to treat this skirt steak right. It is a beautiful cut of meat. As you can tell, I'm pointing at where the fibers of that meat are. You want to be cutting perpendicular, not parallel to those fibers, so it's not as chewy when you eat it. As you can tell, we're doing very thin slices, not thick. But what I'm going to be doing from here is just cut it into fourths. It's going to make it a lot more manageable to cut, and of course, a lot more manageable to eat as well. This is a very important step, so I definitely wouldn't recommend missing out on this. Skirt steak can be a very difficult steak to cook and eat if you do not cook it right or cut it right. So as you can tell from here, now that I cut it into fourths, we're cutting into very small strips. Don't worry about that fat. That is going to add so much flavor later into our meal. So through the magic of editing, we are cutting all the way through that steak, all the way through that full 1.5 pounds. Once we are done that, actually, we're not done yet. We're going to start on the saute feature of the Instapot just to get that guy nice and hot. And then we're going to finish the rest of cutting it for our steak. Now that we have it all cut down, let's place it to the side, get that saute feature of our Instapot ready. We're going to be putting in a little bit of avocado oil. Just make sure it is up and high temperature. You can also put some olive oil or some coconut oil in, but we're going to toss that steak right on top to get it a nice sear on top. Once you don't want to do a full batch into it, so you don't want to overcrowd and it gets cold, so just make sure to get just enough. Now we're going to go ahead and get that garlic set up while that steak is cooking. Don't forget to continue to stir so it doesn't burn the bottom. Now let's go ahead and get those broccoli flowers ready, and we're going to be cutting them into florets. If you don't know what size you're looking for those florets, you want to be able to put it in your mouth. As you can tell, that's not going to be able to be put into your mouth. Just cut that baby in half. Just make sure each one of those pieces, again, you can put it all the way into your mouth without having to chew it. So from there, my first batch of steak was already done, so I'm stuck in my second batch of steak. If you would like to, you could take out the previous batch, let it heat back up, and put that second batch in. I was lazy. Oh well, so I just put it all on together. Finishing the rest of that broccoli, gonna go ahead and put it to the side. With those pieces of garlic, I'm going to be putting them right into a garlic press, and oh, yep, a little slippery, don't worry about it. So we're going to be putting them both into that garlic press, pressing the first one, then pressing the second one before you're going to take off all those shreddings. So of course, it doesn't come all the way off. Use your knife, it can come right off from there. You do want to make sure once it's in there to give it a nice stir, and we don't want to overcook it, so we're going to be putting it in for about a minute or two. While it's doing that, just a little salt, a little pepper. I forgot to do that on the actual steak itself. Probably should have done that before we put it into the pot, but don't worry. Now let's get to that ginger root. You want to make sure to shave off all the exterior so you're left with all the flesh. We're going to chop it up from there. That little tiny knife just isn't doing the trick. We're going to need a bigger knife. No, that's a knife. Now we're going to go ahead and mince that baby together. At this point, I think I probably got a little bit too much ginger. It should be only about like 2 to 3 tablespoons. So I like the taste of ginger. I put a little bit more than that. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of our seasoning. We're going to need about 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flake. That might have been a little too much. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We have about 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Then we're going to go right into about 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, about 1/2 cup of coconut aminos. Definitely need to take that top off to get all that in there. And about 3/4 cup of beef broth. Don't worry too much about it. You can always add more to the end. Now we're going to mix that all together. We're going to put that Instapot lid right on, and we're going to be setting it for 10 minutes on regular. Also, just make sure that Instapot lid is on tight. I'm still getting used to my Instapot, so I always make sure to double check. Also, make sure to double check your valve so it's nice and closed. Let's go ahead and grab that broccoli. It is a microwavable safe container. Put about a cup of water in it, 3 minutes in the microwave. Now it's already cooked. Yes, nice and tender. All right, let's put that broccoli to the side. We're going to be undoing that valve. I definitely recommend grabbing a towel for this. So again, I'm a little hesitant. See, look, the steam does come out. Don't be too scared of it. You can put that towel right on it. Whatever works best for you. It takes a little bit for all that steam to leave, so you can grab the rest, that arrowroot, get your broccoli ready. Then from there, let's go ahead and open that baby up. Once we do that, we're going to be adding about 2 teaspoons of arrowroot into our beef mixture. This is going to help thickening it in the long process. Now let's go ahead and whisk that all together, nice and homogeneous. We're going to be putting the broccoli right in there as well. Let's mix that together so all the flavors are getting to know one another. Once we're done with that, we're actually going to be taking out all of our ingredients. So we're going to be taking out our broccoli and our steak. So we want to be able to cook down our sauce. So taking them all out with a spoon that has a couple holes in the bottoms, and then just make sure to get all that excess stuff. Then we're going to cook it down. This actually might be one of the longest portions to cook it all down. Make sure when you bring a spoon across, you can tell it's pretty thick with that sauce. And of course, since it's the Instapot, the top is actually relatively cool, so you can pick it right up and then pour it right onto your beautiful beef and broccoli. I also recommend grabbing a little spatula, getting all the good stuff out. Then we're going to go ahead and mix that together and get ready for plating. So grab your best plate, and from there, I should have grabbed some rice. Don't worry about it, but I got a little sesame seeds I'm going to be tossing on top to give it a good flavor. It actually gives it a nice little flavor punch. You can even get toasted ones that you like. Ooh, that looks beautiful, and it smells even better than it looks. So I'm going to grab a piece of broccoli and a piece of steak and put it right in. Oh my gosh, that steak pretty much just melts in your mouth, and you don't even notice that it's not even soy sauce. That Coconut Aminos really gives that umami flavor, and I love it. It just tastes like really good Chinese food. Yeah, I would definitely recommend doing this at home. Just grab onto some quinoa, grab onto some rice, and I think you have a solid dinner for the rest of the week. But other than that, hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. Smash that like button. Please hit that subscribe. If you want to check out my other videos, check those out. But other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one.